There can be a hidden conflict in retirement that's lurking, and it's not a big market swing, rather it's family. Mark and Patrice were planning to downsize their home when the kids were grown, but now that their daughter and grandchild are moving back in with them, expenses are climbing, and they're starting to wonder if their retirement is in jeopardy. Hey guys, welcome back to Rise in Retirement. I'm Jet, he's Taco, and we are back with an awesome case example, just like we are every Sunday. We've got Mark and Patrice, and they are 67 and 65. They had a strategy. They were planning to downsize the home, take that equity from the sale of the proceeds, and live this great retirement plan. But one thing got in the way, and it's family. They've got a daughter and a grandchild who are now all of a sudden moving back in with them. Been with them for a little while. Expenses are starting to climb. Have you seen this type of thing before?
Everybody's got a little bit of a family drama out there, right? Hey, make sure you like, subscribe, share this video as we go along here today, and head over to riseinretirement.com when you're done watching the video as well here today. But
I say we jump right into the case details and get going with this.
Let's do it. So you mentioned Mark is 67. Mm-hmm. Patrice is 65, retired. They've got $980,000 in total retirement savings, with $700,000 of that being pre-tax IRA, $180,000 in Roth, and $100,000 in a brokerage account. Jet, they went in kind of cruising in, thinking, "Hey, we're gonna, live life, be confident." They have a $7,500 gross monthly income goal. That hits everything for them. That covers all the joy expenses, all of the things they want to be able to do. And I know it sounds like a lot, right? Into retirement, no debt or anything like that. Well, guess what? They've got plans for it, and they know how they want to spend that $7,500.
That's what they're spending. Yeah.
So income sources, they have $3,400 coming in from Social Security combined gross. Meaning they have a shortfall, a withdrawal need of $4,100 per month, about $49,000 a year, which is approximately a 5% withdrawal rate. They have a beautiful home that they built years and years back, spent a good chunk of money on this, and it's mortgage free, so it's free and clear. So part of their retirement was, we don't need this giant house when we retire. We're going to sell this thing off, and hey, there's another, $700,000-800,000 that we can put towards our retirement.
Yeah.
Maybe go run a condo, whatever it may be. Right. And so, the problem here is that we have the daughter moving back in, with a grandchild as well. And so everything's kind of delayed.
Yeah. Unpredictable things.
Sure.
Right. I mean, the moral of this story for Mark and Patrice is just, they planned. They had this idea, they knew long in advance that they were going to sell this home. They weren't going to be able to, not even just be able to, but they didn't want to have to deal with the upkeep of it, and you've probably, you yourself, or you've known someone that says, I'm past the upkeep of a home. I want to scale it down. But they were using that as a financial incentive too. So
sure. And this scenario, Jet, we're talking family members moving back in. We see this all the time, mm-hmm. where it's maybe not moving in, but it's large expenses. Helping out. And, sometimes you feel obligated to do it. So,
I want to say something too. If you're behind the screen right now watching this, don't judge, because it's within your own right. If you have dollars and you want to help out your kids, there's a large portion of people out there who they're just going to do that.
Yeah.
Right. So one thing I want to remind everyone here is, it's Mark and Patrice in this case example. It's their choice. It's their choice that they're going to bring the daughter and the grandchild home. They're going to help them out, try to get them back on their feet. You don't know the situation. We're not going to go into the details. Who knows what it could have been?
Yeah.
You can formulate, have fun with it, make up your own reason as to why the granddaughter and the grandchild are moving back in with mom and dad.
But I agree. It's real easy to go, we're going to talk through some planning challenges. It's real easy to go, "Oh, this is simple. Just don't help."
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of, the decision's been made that Mark and Patrice are going to help. So the planning challenges, Jet, that they're facing, I'll start with the first one, is without downsizing, staying in the current home. Their plan was still pretty good. They're, like I said, they're kind of hovering around a 5% withdrawal rate. Not amazing, but not horrible either. It's kind of just in that fragile standpoint. They got that things that can happen that can put them in danger, but they should be pretty darn good with where they're at, especially knowing we got the house to bank on.
Would just based on that alone, would you give that a red, yellow, green? Like, you put them in that position, where are they at?
I think knowing that there's a house that's got significant value, it's a green light.
Yeah.
Where they're at right now.
I agree.
So going into retirement, I think they were in rock solid.
So, planning challenges is here's another one. This family moving in, and obviously it depends on the overall scenario. Like, does the granddaughter bring anything to the table? Or not the granddaughter, I'm sorry, the daughter. Does the daughter bring anything to the table by way of income? Does she help with expenses? I mean, in this case example, what we know is that them moving back in, just naturally it increases expenses.
Yeah. And I've seen this play out before, where even if the daughter has good income and at that point, Mark and Patrice are going to be like, get back on your feet, save if you got it.
Yeah.
You're in our house. We're going to take care of it. So what we've determined is there's about $1,000 per month more in expenses going into this. It's food, it's groceries, it's electricity, heat, all these different things. The granddaughter, needing to, food and all that stuff comes into place. It's $1,000. So that $1,000 per month increase jumps them up from a 5% withdrawal rate to a 6.2% withdrawal rate. That's a challenge.
Yeah. And now this plan, another planning challenge here that we'll highlight, this plan that they had of downsizing and selling the home and using the proceeds of the sale of that home to further bolster their retirement assets so that they can live and spend a little bit more confidently and do everything they wanted to do in retirement. That's on hold now because they can't downsize. They need the extra space for the daughter and the granddaughter, and that, they want to do it in the home that they built, that they've been in a long time. So the other thing too is, you can, if you've ever been in a situation like this, I need to stay with you for a little while. Well, what does that really mean, right? Is a little while a couple of weeks? Is it a couple of months? Does that turn into years?
Yeah.
You can try to plan for that, but I'm here to tell you, you never really know. And most people, I say most, probably not kicking their daughter and their granddaughter out if they've overstayed their welcome.
Yeah.
Right. So
hey, if you're in a similar situation, whether it's family moving in or just big important decisions to make for family, if you're making decisions that involve your finances, your savings, and family maybe coming into play here, clarity is key. It's making sure that you have a plan. So visit riseandretirement.com. See how a personalized approach to your situation could potentially benefit you. One of the things that we can offer from watching today's show is a 30-minute free consultation with a member of our advisory team to just talk through your situation, get a better understanding of how to plan for a situation like this. So highly advised to do that.
That's riseandretirement.com. Tell us about your scenario. We'd be happy to talk. Let's go through possible strategies that Mark and Patrice could, explore or consider. What's the first one you got?
Yeah. So you started to allude to this a little bit. It's how long is this going to happen?
Mm-hmm.
I think there needs to be clear boundaries. If you're going to open up your home and, at the end of the day, change your kind of vision of your retirement for this time being, then there needs to be that clarity with the daughter of how long are we doing this?
Yeah.
Here's how long we're going to support, or is it indefinite, and are we going to revamp the entire plan to account for that? So I think that's key number one.
I'll give another one. And I think what we have to now do with this new scenario, we're talking $1,000 extra a month in expense need or income need to pay for those expenses. You went from 5% to a 6.2% annual withdrawal rate. So you're further stressing the overall portfolio and the length that it'll run and the growth that it has to see to maintain that level of spending. We have to stress test this new scenario. And we do this with a lot of people that come in. We do it through a cost and a risk analysis, a couple of components that we can talk to you about on that 30-minute call. Yep. But you have to stress it against different market scenarios, against different expense scenarios. You have to truly understand How has this changed our chances at success as we move forward over the next 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years? Because even just a small increase like that, you might look at extra $1,000 a month. That doesn't seem like that much. It can really make a huge difference over compounding time.
Yeah.
I think is the biggest thing.
Well, and I want to address that because again, I can picture people out there going, well, they're still fine. They still have the house. So if things go, even if they go 6.2 for a really long period of time and there's still a house at the end, right? What people don't think about, Jet, is the psychological side of things, that you're still looking at your assets and you're still going, hey, we have 980,000 and now you're spending it down at a larger, rate. Let's just say, you mentioned a stress test. Let's say the market does decline 10, 15, 20%, plus you're taking those distributions. Mentally, psychologically, you're seeing your portfolio go down, potentially that 6.2% withdrawal rate getting higher.
Mm-hmm.
And all of a sudden, even though on paper, you might still be able to look at it logically and go, they're fine because they still have the home equity. They're still not going to enjoy retirement as much as they were because they're not being as confident.
Well, yeah.
That's what, it's a big point to make there, right?
Yeah, it's like walking on a frozen pond, right? How much ice is really there? You're always kind of wondering, man, if I take the wrong step here, or it's not, as thick as I thought it was, are we going to fall through the ice?
Yep.
And are we going to be able to get out of the water in time? So I just think of it in that, another possible strategy kind of parlaying into that is, let's explore a dual track plan. So look at it in two separate ways. Let's look at it as life with our current home versus the post downsizing outcomes, right? And if we can establish those clear boundaries that you suggested in the beginning, hey, do you think you'll be with us for a year? Do you think you'll be with us for 5 years? What if it's 10 years, right? Let's look at all of those scenarios and stress test each one of those based on the current assets, based on the equity that's in the home. And let's understand, can we make it through 1 year, 5 year, 10 year at this higher expense rate? Rather than just hoping and praying and thinking, this will be temporary. We'll get through this. They'll find their way. I've seen situations like this that end up being indefinite.
Sure.
And it was never thought of going into it. Yeah, we'll bring them in 10 years, 15 years, 20 years later, they're still there.
Yep.
Or, even worse in some cases, I've seen it where Mark and Patrice end up being the primary caregiver for the grandchild in some instance. And now they have a dependent when they thought they were going to be empty nesters and living on their own.
Yep. And it's just, again, it's holding them back on doing all the things that they dreamed of and what they worked for. So, red light, yellow light, green light. Where you at?
Yellow light. We said it was green light earlier, simply because that withdrawal rate is maybe potentially, arguably, the 5% original withdrawal rate was potentially yellow light, but because they had that home mortgage paid off and they were planning on selling it, we were giving them a green light.
Yeah.
This changes it to a firm yellow light for me.
Yeah.
I think the family needs are overriding the financial needs now.
Yeah.
Ultimately, and that can cause some problems, I would say.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think yellow from a confidence standpoint.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I think the numbers are probably still okay. It's more the life. Are they living the lifestyle they wanted to? As these withdrawals stay elevated, it just makes everything a little more of a challenge for sure.
I'd leave it too with this, is that it could end up being great. It could be one of the, I'm not saying that this is always a negative thing. Right. I mean, flip it on its axis. Having the daughter and the grandchild back in their home could be a retirement vision they never thought that they would think about, that they end up really thoroughly enjoying.
Yeah.
Right. So it doesn't have to be this dark cloud over their situation. It can be, hey, let's do this. And maybe they're arguing with the daughter and the granddaughter, hey, stay a little longer. So, as long as you have a financial plan that shows, hey, we're going to be okay. We just have to adjust a couple of things. We have to change how we're investing the dollars, where we're taking our withdrawals from. We have to make sure that we're going to have this money last with this new situation. Then you're in good shape.
Yeah. Yeah. Life evolves. At the end of the day, priorities may shift. Life happens. Make sure you have a plan that, has these shifts not totally set you back and not allow you to live, the retirement that you dreamed of.
Head over to risingretirement.com. Tell us about your scenario. Schedule a 30-minute call. We're happy to talk to you. We'll see you next time.